Safety meeting for May 1st, 2025 is now in session. All members are present as well as legal counsel. First on the agenda is approval of the minutes from April 24th, 2025.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next are claims for payment in the amount of $138,534.61.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims for payment as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next are payroll claims for payment in the amount of $845,088.15.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the payroll claims for payment as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next are payroll claims for payment for pension in the amount of $248,320.22.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the payroll claims for payment for pension as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. Next are requests. If you're approaching the podium, please say your name and title. We have a street closure.
My name is Detective Ridgway. I'm with the Richmond Police Department. I have a road closure request for June 7th from 10 a.m. to midnight approximately. This is going to be on Elm Place from 8th Street to 10th Street, and this is going to be for the new Boswell Tap Room Customer Appreciation Day. I have no objections to this.
I have a question for you. I read a couple of the comments on one of our earlier Elm Place closures, and they were talking about the sidewalks, that people thought the sidewalks were going to be closed also. In reality, they were not.
Correct.
So they were happy when they found that out. I was just trying to figure how we could communicate better with the businesses that are in that area so they know what part's going to be closed and how people can actually get into their businesses.
And speaking with Rick Parker, that was something that I addressed specifically on this one. We've actually created a new form for road closure requests that individuals are going to be required to fill out, and it will address, does the closure affect any neighboring businesses? And if so, have you made contact with them regarding the closure in advance?
Oh, good, good.
As far as this one, Rick advised that they were going to give written notice to all of their neighbors, so that way they can still get deliveries and have access to their businesses.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'd move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the street closure as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Do have one other thing. I want to provide an update. In the previous meeting, I made it aware that I would notify you of updates for infrastructure systems regarding the water mains that they were replacing. As of Friday last week, they were able to install and wet tap on Northwest First, and they had laid 289 feet of 8-inch main. Their next closure is going to be at Northwest H. They are aiming for that to be Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. And as of Monday, this coming week, they're going to start putting out no parking signs and notifying the residents in that area as well.
Thank you very much. That's a good-
Also, your 37th Street project went very well on May 37th and Main. They did that quite quickly, and traffic moved both ways without any problems at all.
Yep, I asked officers who were working the enforcement detail to kind of check in and give some extra attention to that area as well for those
That
construction
worked
workers.
very well, yes.
Thank you for your efforts.
Thank you, guys.
Next on the agenda are contracts. Contract number 64-2025, the Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors LLC.
Good evening, Board. My name is Tracy McGinnis. I am the City Controller. This is an annual contract for services provided by Baker Tilly to the city for fiscal advice and support. Services provided include, but not limited to, budgetary support, comprehensive financial planning, updates, annual financial reporting, debt management, and bond issuance. In the contract, you can see there is a scope of work that has a more detailed list if you'd like to review that, and I can answer any questions you may have.
The only question I have, is this the same amount as last year, or have we seen an increase in the price?
It's going to slightly increase, and I would say probably an increase of about $10,000 to $12,000. We're asking Baker Tilly to take on a couple of more jobs that were actually done by Cronin Associates. So it's just kind of a shift from them to Baker Tilly, and that's probably about $10,000 to $12,000.
So what would that total amount be then?
Probably slightly over $90,000 per year.
I don't have any other questions. I would move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve contract number 64, 2025 to Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is contract number 72, 2025 to Holiday Sales LLC.
Good evening. Jeff Kinder, Richmond Fire. The Richmond Fire Department asked the Board of Public Works and Safety to approve the following contract 72, 2025 to Holiday Sales to furnish and install a fiberglass V-Series truck painted cap to match the color with aluminum framed half slider window, aluminum frame picture window up front, aluminum frame rear door with a T-handle to be installed on a 2023 Chevy Silverado crew cab long bed vehicle owned by the fire department. The total amount for this installation will not exceed $2,700.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve contract number 72, 2025 to Holiday Sales LLC as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is contract number 73, 2025, All About Asphalt Incorporated.
The Richmond Fire Department asked the Board of Public Works to approve contract 73, 2025 to All About Asphalt to furnish materials, labors, and perform services to clean, crack, fill, and reseal the existing driveway, which extends the parking area of the consist of 24,420 square feet, to furnish material, labor, perform service to fill the cracks, reseal, restripe the main parking lot area of 11,900 square feet, and said area located at the David Izzy Edelman Police Fire Training Facility. The total amount for this service shall not exceed $10,000.
I'd move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve contract number 73, 2025, All About Asphalt Incorporated as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is contract number 80, 2025, Community Crossings Project Milestone.
Matthew Keller, Director of Public Operations and Engineering. Here to ask for the approval of contract 80-2025 for the Community Crossings Project between the City of Richmond and Milestone Contractors. This is a project that will include 1.5 inches of milling, resurfacing, tack coat for the listed locations in the bid packet. Asking Board of Works to approve this contract between the city and Milestone for a sum not to exceed $1.595 million, $860.55.
Let's go back to give me your numbers again, Matthew.
It's $1,595,860.55. This would include 13 full repaves.
My number is $880,954 that I've got on my sheet. I'm just,
It's a match.
okay.
It's a match, so you're
Okay.
paying, city's paying half of it.
%, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you. I'd move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve contract number 80, 2025, that's known as Community Crossings Project and Milestone. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda are change orders. Change order number 2 to contract number 182, 2024.
This is a change order for additional excavation over at the 601 East Main site for a deeper depth than originally contemplated. Change orders for additional amount not to exceed $37,000 even, making a new contract amount of $880,954. This is being funded by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation Regional Economic Acceleration Development Initiative, or the Ready 1.0 grant.
You may or may not know the answer to this. What is the reason for the deeper?
They found a, there was underneath a portion of the excavation site, they found additional materials where the loading bay was that need to be removed. And in the spec, it would be compliant with what we require.
I asked that question just so that generally people.
I got you, yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And this, of course, is the Elder Bearman site.
They did a nice job on it. If you've been down there to look at it, you know, they filled it up with gravel. I took someone there yesterday and said, that's about $30,000 worth of gravel sitting there.
Yeah.
I'd move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve change order number 2 to contract number 182, 2024 as presented. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda are resolutions. Resolution number 2, 2025, approving an update to Roseview Transit Bus fare amounts and ticket policies.
My name is Chris Becker. I'm the manager of Roseview Transit. This is my assistant manager, Troy Young. Yep. And we're here seeking the passing of resolution number 2025, which are 2 operational changes to how Roseview is run. Number 1, we're seeking the discontinuing the use of transfer tickets in operations, and also we are going to change, we're seeking to change the rate we change, or the amount we charge per ride to $1 per ride every time you get on, as opposed to using transfer tickets in addition to the cost of getting on. So on a daily basis, Troy kind of takes care of the keeping track of the fares and the just the day-to-day operations of how the transfer tickets are used. And so I'm going to let him kind of give you some numbers as to why we're seeking this change in operations at this point.
Good evening, everyone. So one of the things that we're asking for is to dispose of the use of transfer tickets, and I've brought a transfer ticket here today, which if you'd actually pass up there, I'd like for them to see those. The main request and the reason for dismissal of the transfer tickets is to save approximately $14,000 a year. So we spend generally about $3,500 a month, or excuse me, a quarter. So you add that up with the 4 quarters, of course, it equals out to about $14,000. With this and the reduction of the fare rate currently stands at $1.75 for most adults, $1.50 for senior citizens and those who are disabled, and students as well. This dollar change, dropping it to $1, would then produce an additional $8,000 additional income projected for Roseview Transit. With this change, we will be able to adjust and correct our documentation of the demographics of our riders. And with that information, we can then have the solid evidence and proof of when we apply for the grants, the purpose of the grants, the evidence of the grant funding, because they'll ask the type of, the demographics of our riders. So, and with that, there's also, we have found that there's multiple other grants out there that's possible that we could then go for, because we're able to show the type of, and the demographics of our ridership.
Could you go back? I missed the numbers. I was writing the 3,500 down. You gave the cost now for riding the bus. Could you give that to me again?
Yes, sir. It would save it was approximately $3,500 a quarter.
So tell me how you save the $3,500.
It is a combination of, the printing of those transfer tickets. It is also the use of, let's see here, we have found that there are ongoing instances where the use of transfer tickets is not consistent with the established guidelines. And so by increasing our.
It's been a while since I've been with Rose City Transit, probably 20 years since I've been on this side. Bring me up to date on, I can't believe you paid $3,500 for these tickets for a quarter. I can't believe you used that many. How many riders do you have in a quarter?
Well, sir, we use approximately 1,891 of those transfer tickets per quarter.
Okay, so that's a few $100s to print those. That's not $3,500.
Yeah.
I'll give you 500. Where do you save the other 3,000?
Okay, the other 3,000 is actually the, well, like I was saying, where we have found that the inconsistencies with the established guidelines, the use of those.
What's the established guideline?
Okay.
Bring me back up to date. If I ride the bus, I pay X amount, or if do you buy these tickets? Or if I go on the bus in one place, if I transfer, I don't have to pay an additional fee?
Okay.
To get one of these? Is that the way it used to be? How is it today?
Right. So like if you were picked up en route, we'll say on South Fifth Street, and you boarded the bus, you paid your $1.75 to get on the bus, and you needed to go to Reed Hospital. So what you would do is then you'd be taken to the terminal, and at that time you'd be handed a transfer ticket,
Right.
and then you would get on to the bus that would take you to the Reed Hospital.
Gotcha. I'm with you. All right.
That is how the system was designed to be utilized, but unfortunately there are inconsistencies with that guideline.
So who's inconsistent?
It is a blend of multiple things, sir.
Like what?
We have found
Process, procedure?
some
Following
process
up?
procedures, misuse of tickets, transferring to unauthorized. It's just, yeah, it's a,
I guess I still don't see how you're saving $3,000. I give you $500 for the printing. Hell, I can print you all the tickets you need forever for that. But, and I'm trying to figure out give me your numbers again that I asked for, what you're going to charge now.
it'll be $1
For everything, just
for
$1?
everyone, sir.
All right, so if I have to go to Reed Hospital and you take me down to the garage, and if
Sir.
we do a transfer, do I have to pay another $1 then to get into the bus to go out to Reed Hospital?
Yes, sir. So you pay your original $1 on Fifth Street where you were picked up.
Okay.
Then
So
you-
in essence, you're actually increasing the price for an individual. That's a $2 ride where it used to be $1.75.
Yes, sir. But what we've currently got is the same individual could then get a transfer ticket from one location, go back to the garage, secure another bus with another transfer ticket, and we have a rider riding 5 or 6 times for the price of one fare. That's the $3,000, sir.
Okay. How do you document that?
If you notice at the bottom of that transfer ticket, there's instructions on where that is able to be used. Over the years and the current changeover.
So it says it can only be used once.
Yes, sir.
So did you have a method where you clicked on there or something so they knew what you said, where they use it 4 or 5 times?
Yes, sir. When they get off the bus, they could receive another ticket, or another rider will give them a ticket.
So you're like me, couldn't you just hole punch it as soon as you hand it to them?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
well, I can see how you're making it a lot simpler. When you enter a bus, you pay $1.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, and you think that's going to increase your income by $8,000 now?
Well, sir, the increase, actually, the first thing is when we stop the loss of the monies, and then the increase of the dollar over the year, yes, I believe it would probably bring up approximately $8,000 in income. But the main thing was to stop the loss of $14,000 every year.
We are the only agency.
I don't see how you justified the 14, because you're having a hard time justifying to me the $3,500 lost. I think it's kind of a guess number.
Well,
I'm not arguing it's not happening, I'm just trying to get a handle on it.
Right.
As to
Well, with the-
exactly where your numbers are.
So with the year of research that I did with this, and like I said, we issue out approximately 1,800 transfer tickets per year, per quarter. Watching those and seeing the use of those and the quantity that are set out each day for buses' use, the calculations and shows that where the tickets are at. On our current daily operator report, we have a spot down here at the bottom where they mark where the transfers are, the quantity of transfers. When you utilize that data in comparison to the amount of tickets that are given out, again, operational oversight is needed in multiple areas.
I believe, Monica, you told me you were no longer selling bus passes.
Yeah, we're still selling bus passes, but on the ride tickets, we'll be selling those for $1. A lot of the, like the hospital and a lot of the organizations will buy ride tickets that they can give to their patients so they can get home. And this is gonna save them money also, you know, in the ride tickets. Not only that, but I think it'll be easier if you don't have a monthly bus pass or a ride ticket, you have to have the exact amount of money to put in the buses. I think it'd be a lot easier to have that $1 than to have $1.50.
Oh, yeah.
$1.75.
So what's a monthly pass cost?
For seniors and disabled and students, it's $35, and for a regular bus pass, it's $43.
Here are the examples of a monthly bus pass, and this is also the individual ride tickets that Monica spoke of. This is the monthly, and this is the individual ride tickets. And there are several organizations that purchase those for their patrons.
So
When Reed buys, does Reed buy a bulk of those? Do you give them a discount or anything, or?
It depends. The Excel Center, the first of every year, buys 600 of them. And then Reed Hospital usually buys between 50 and 60 as needed, you know, depending on how many they give out.
Abilities and, I think.
And abilities, and I sold some to Mental Health something today. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, so I sold them 50.
Yeah, and I would say too, not that we have to be like every other transit agency in the state, but we are the only municipality that has public transportation. When we go to seminars and things, people are still amazed that we're still using them.
If we approve this tonight, when would you implement this into the system?
We would begin the process of make all notifications that is required by NDOT and recommended by NDOT to Chris. So we are looking at least 2 weeks for that. So around about the 19th of May.
Something else too, I made sure, you know, this kind of a change, you just don't want to do it willy-nilly. So I actually contacted our NDOT grant manager and asked him about doing this sort of change. And based on our demographics, we have a little more liberty than larger.
Like Indianapolis, yeah.
Yeah, I think the parameters are if you have less than 50 buses, vehicles, if you live in an area of less than 200,000 people, you can kind of do these changes without any major, I mean, obviously board approval. It has to be done locally, but from the standpoint of NDOT, we're able to do that, these sorts of changes. It's not a major thing because of our demographics and the amount of people we move on a daily basis. So we've got the approval of NDOT to do this. It's just, you know, they don't make a recommendation either way. They don't care
Right.
whether we have ride tickets or not. It's just something that we're noticing we believe would be an advantage in the long run to the public transportation.
Seems
You're
like it would
looking
be
at a
simpler.
small flyer or something that
Yeah,
bus drivers can hand out to all the
Yes.
people that are riding?
Yeah, we want to we'd like to put it on the website, and also, I'd like to run something on the radio, but that costs money, and our budget's pretty tight right now.
We also plan on
I would
addressing.
think your flyer, handing it out to all the people that are riding your bus, that's the people you want to get to.
Well, yeah, and one of the other things we've noticed in taking our data is we're moving basically the same people all the time.
Right.
And so, as long as those people get it, that's, you know, and we can post it at our bus shelters, you know, tape it up there, and just as people wait for the bus, they can see the notice, and it's already been put out there. People already know this change is coming, because we kind of started moving forward a little too quickly and realized, oh, no, we need board approval first.
Okay.
And so it's already been out in the penumbra there, basically, and it's kind of like, they know a change is coming, they just don't know the particulars of it.
Yeah. What's your total ridership per year now?
Counting all transferred tickets and continuous, the use of those, approximately 450 a day.
Yeah.
So approximately, because I didn't bring those numbers with me, so 450 a day,
Times how many work
operational.
day- How many work days are?
Well, ask our city controller, she can do that in her head. No? Oh, well, that's good enough, 450 a day. Yeah,
And that's one of the things with the transfer tickets. Right now, they're just marked down as transfers.
right.
By having that demographic breakdown, that is what the valuable information lies. That is what will aid us in the calculations of the
I want to
demographics.
say it's right, just offhand, it's about 140,000 a year.
Okay.
And I think we have been leading, so far as cities go, we actually lead in the amount of people we move.
One of the points for that is a municipality-owned and operated transit system operating within the 5311 grant. That is what stands us out. Because most of them have went private, most municipalities.
Very good.
So I have three thoughts. One, I agree with you. I don't think we can, the savings, I don't think we can validate that. Number two, it's definitely obvious that your system for transfer tickets is not robust enough. When you leave somebody else in control of the ticket, then you don't have control anymore. And then the last piece is, yes, I think that if you pay an individual fare each time they go to a transfer, you're going to have better data for your grants. It'll be interesting to see, and I'll go this as well, cost of living and everything else has gone up, so I understand, a slight increase, so.
I would like to interject here. I've been here over 20 years, and the price of the bus passes have gone up once. So I think that this is at least a good place to start, because like everybody else, at some point, you've got to raise.
You have to raise prices,
You
yeah.
know, it's-
absolutely.
It's something that can't be helped.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. That was my point. You're gonna have to grow. You're gonna have to grow your price. Because fuel costs and everything else involved with it, maintenance, everything is increased.
It was one of the thoughts that was balancing the loss of the transfer ticket was to lower that fare to $1. That would assist in that cost.
And I'm just interested in all, it's been a while. How are you doing? I know you do the advertising. What type of income are you getting these days on the income on the buses, on the signs you put on that side of them?
We really don't get much, and that's something that, that fields.
Increase that? Yeah.
Yeah, we lost one of our advertisers, Birthright, I think. They've been with us for a while, but they're not gonna advertise any longer. We had some realtors, and they dropped, so we really don't have much in the way of.
Income from that, yeah.
It will be visited in the transportation plan that's going to be done later this year. And I've already
Good.
more creative ways of advertising, so we're working on that, but it'll
Good.
probably be included in the master transportation.
Great.
Or around the same time as the master.
Yeah, well, I'm interested. I'm just trying to get up to date of where we are. I would appreciate when you have some time, you have some good information. If you could just give me an up-to-date on the bus service, how many buses we have.
Love for you to come out and ride, sir.
Well, I'd be happy to do that. Yeah.
Best way to find out.
And yes, I'd be more than happy to provide you
Okay,
any
if you
kind of
did
data that I can
anything,
provide.
the advertising, all that, I'd be interested in all that, because, I can promote it out there too. Hey, you need to advertise on our buses, because I'm sure it's a reasonable amount, and the potential exposure is considerable on the buses, yeah.
Absolutely.
Way back, many, many, many years ago, I used to advertise on the buses, but, yeah.
So we're looking at a June timeframe then, is what you're proposing, basically? May 19th,
If,
June?
yes, so we get all the publications out and notifications and everything.
So Tracy, can you kind of give us, come back in a quarter and kind of let us know what the numbers kind of look like, just so we know?
When the change comes in.
Yeah, so, yeah.
People.
Yes, well, I'd like to see that.
Even though it's not much, I'm sure we're gonna hear about, you're raising the price? Yeah.
I like to see the comparison, just.
I would too, yeah.
I mean, in some instances, people will save money if they're only going to one place. They're going to
Yep.
be on, they're going to pay $1, they're going to go to their destination.
Absolutely.
Right.
They'll save money, but if they're riding twice, obviously they're paying more to ride twice
Yeah, not that much.
I think it's a quarter.
Quarter, I was gonna say 25 cents.
And the last time we had an increase was, as Monica mentioned, was 2014. At the request of Terry Quinter.
I'll put that in your information, so if somebody asks me, I can remember and say 2014, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, look forward to that. I don't have any more questions. I'll move for approval.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution Number 2, 2025, approving the update to Roseview Transit bids and fare amounts and ticket policies. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. If not, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Okay.
You are watching Whitewater Government Television, WGTV, Channel 11, part of the Whitewater Community Television family of stations.